what's going on, everybody? It is me, your boy Spider Guilds.
Black Suit Harry.
and Green Ranger Peaky.
Wait, what the fuck? Get out! Get the fuck out! You're supposed to be Spider-Man. I'm kidding.
You're the wrong morph suit superhero. Get out of here.
But what's going on, everybody? We are the Fulcrum Boys. We are here, and we are going to be talking about the greatest Spider-Man cartoon of all time. Wrong one.
No. I need radioactive spider blood.
There we go. Okay, that's enough of that.
Right, before we get fully into it, why did 90s kids cartoon shows like Spider-Man, like X-Men have such kick-ass theme songs?
Dude, I don't know, man. The 90s went hard.
The 90s did go hard.
They got real good at it, and they figured out that kids like a shredding guitar. If you're a young boy in the 90s, you want to hear Eddie Van Halen style shredding. Yeah. Having Green Ranger here, possibly one of the only theme tunes that can beat out the 90s animated Spider-Man show is Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is perhaps the greatest kids theme tune ever made. And this is a close second.
Dude, straight up. And I don't know what it was about the 90s. They just loved, like you said, Harry, they just loved that shredding guitar. They just loved that shit. I don't know what it was, but I miss it, and it's sad. And we had Rafente. He made a comment earlier today. I don't think he's here right now, but he said radioactive spider blood. That was a cool thing. I don't know why that we all loved that, but that was just a cool thing of that cartoon. Spider blood, radioactive. It's the most random ass line of a song, but it's I love it.
It's interesting. We'll probably get further into it as we go through, but there were some strange things about that show where tonally it was a bit off. Things didn't always fit. That theme tune's amazing, doesn't necessarily always fit with the show. You cut from that to Peter Parker and Mary Jane in their powder colored, pastel costumes that they're in. Yeah. In this very brightly lit and very colorful New York, no grime, no nothing.
Yeah.
But the theme tune set you up for this is a dark sci-fi adventure.
If you wanted a more dark sci-fi adventure, you kind of have to go to Spider-Man Unlimited. that other one that came later.
Oh, the furry Spider-Man.
What?
Yeah,
I don't think I ever saw Spider-Man Unlimited.
It was interesting. It was almost a sequel to the 90s animated show.
Was it the one with the 2099 Spider-Man in it?
It didn't know. It was still Peter Parker. And he had a slightly different costume. But yeah, he went off to... He ended up on a shuttle that went to an alternate Earth. And Venom and Carnage snuck on board. And he gets this alternate Earth. And there's loads of animal people there. And he gets a new suit made out of nanobots. And it's a bit more sci-fi than real Earth.
Yeah. So I think originally it was supposed to be a 2099 story, but I think they actually changed it halfway through because of production issues.
Right.
But no. So, but the 90s one, the original one, the one that started all of that, that one was probably one of the coolest ones. It did some of the most awesome stuff. It had team ups with Blade. He had team ups with Captain America.
Fantastic. Human Torch's in it as well, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah, the Punisher shows up at least once.
Yeah, Punisher.
And then we also have the original Spider-Verse, the final 2 episodes of that show were the original Spider-Verse.
Doesn't it end with him going to Madam Web and then going through the multiverse type thing?
Yeah, exactly. You get all sorts. You get the Madam Web and the Watcher. Is it? No, it's not the Watcher. Who is it that?
It was. I think it was Beyonder. The Beyonder.
The Beyonder shows up, and then they have a ultimate good versus evil fight, where loads of Spider-Man villains get put onto a planet, and Spider-Man has to pick people to fight alongside him, and that's fantastic.
If I was Spider-Man, I'd choose Venom and Carnage. I'm having these two symbiotes with me.
I think Venom might have been one of the bad guys.
I think he was chosen as one of the bad guys. But Spider-Man, he gets Wolverine and Storm, and he gets the Fantastic Four. Lizard is chosen as one of the bad guys, and they turn him back into Dr. Connors, and he joins their team for a bit. I think they even make him he's got Connor's mind, but he's still the Lizard. So he's able to kick ass.
So kind of what they've done with Amazing Spider-Man, where he was aware that he was Kurt Connors, but also he had the mind of Connors, but he had the physique of the lizard.
Yeah, and like he's a good guy. Like when they do that to him, because like Kurt Connors is supposedly always just a nice guy. He's just he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But yeah, and then I can't remember the exact details of it. But then you also have, I think before that or potentially afterwards, the different Spider-Men from different universes. So you've got the Spider-Man who is just an actor, which leads to a nice Stan Lee cameo. You've got the Armored Spider shows up. You've got what is it? Scarlet Spider? Yeah.
You got one who's like the man spider. He's like a Spider-Man with like 6 arms, and then halfway through he ends up turning into Man Spider.
I love that comic book arc, by the way. That was a really strange comic book arc, like him turning into a spider.
Yeah, that was cool. They had a weird one that was Dr. Octopus. Like he was like a Spider-Man with Doc Ock arms.
Yeah, it's like the Superior Spider-Man before Superior Spider-Man happened.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because I think that was before it happened in the comics.
It did.
That was
so
way before.
In the comics, so obviously I don't know if they did it in the same way in the show. Dr. Octopus was dying, so he swapped bodies with Peter Parker so he could carry on living.
Yeah,
that's when he finds out Spider-Man's identity is Peter Parker.
Like he becomes the Superior Spider-Man. Then I think like apparently Spider-Man's like consciousness is still in Peter Parker's brain somewhere and pushes Otto out. Like he fights him.
There's a subconscious of Peter in there still, and it fights back.
Yeah, and then he takes over again, but then he loses like all of his money and all of his wealth because like Otto, as being Otto Octavius, ends up making Spider-Man better and makes him like a rich, like almost Tony Stark-esque kind of guy. Yeah, but afterward, he ends up losing all of that.
Parker Industries, I think it was, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. He had like a whole team of like Spider-Man like lackeys that would like fight for him. It gets wild with that one, but but the 90s one, that was kind of the original one, and that was way before the Superior Spider-Man ever was a thing. So that's my thing, is I feel like this 90s cartoon shaped a lot of what people know, or at least what like the last generation knows about Spider-Man. Then you get like the weird Drake Bell Spider-Man cartoon.
You're absolutely right. Like one of the things that I have always praised this cartoon about is that it is a great crash course in Spider-Man lore. Like if you watch the animated series, you're going to know the big beats of all the Spider-Man comics, essentially, at least up until the point that show was made. You know all the big beats. So you know Uncle Ben, you know the Green Goblin storyline, you know the Venom storyline, you know who Doc Ock is. The only thing that I always confused me was that this show always made me think that whenever we got a movie, Fisk would be the big bad guy. And after this show, Fisk has never been like Spider-Man's main enemy.
Like, I mean, honestly, no, you're right. Because like when they had the Sinister Six, it was all done by like Wilson Fisk. He was the one who was leading it, and like they made it seem like he was they had Daredevil show up, and that's where like the big reveal was that all the crime in New York is controlled by this guy. And it's like, they made it seem like this would be a much bigger villain.
He was like more or less like the money behind the Sinister Six, weren't he? He was like the bankroller of it all.
Yeah, and he also kind of created some of the technology for it.
Yeah, and like he's the reason that Hobgoblin is a villain in this, because like he basically he's paying Hobgoblin, and I think he gives Hobgoblin the Green Goblin's jet, ski thing. I think. Like, and there's also the guy in the wheelchair with him, Spencer. Is it? No, Smythe. Sorry.
Yeah, Smythe, Alistair Smythe, which then he ends up becoming like a mutant halfway through the series and gets shit grown out of him.
Gets his weird shoulder cannons.
Yeah, no, that show it had a lot of goofy stuff, but it was also really, really cool. Like they had some really heartfelt episodes. Like there was so the reason we're talking about this, in case anyone was curious, like why are they talking about the night? Because Madam Web is coming out next week, and this is the first introduction that I ever had to Madam Web. So
I think it's the first introduction a lot of us had to Madam Web.
Straight up. So what I think is that like one of the best episodes for me is when Madam Web like he like loses faith in being Spider-Man. He's like, fuck this, I'm gonna quit, and this is all bullshit. And so she like pulls him aside, like she basically just like pulls him into another universe or another dimension and says like, you need to get your shit together, and sends him on a mission basically to go meet this little girl. Like he goes and meets this little girl. She I guess I'm trying to remember what exactly happens. Like how exactly she gets.
Is this the little girl that he tells his identity to?
Yeah, the one at the
Yeah.
Hardy Foundation, who's like, it turns out at the very end of this episode she has cancer. So that's why that's why he told her his secret identity. He's like, oh yeah, no, you're gonna die. I don't have to worry about it. But it's a very heartfelt episode because it's like, oh, he goes and like bonds with his little girl and he does a nice thing. It's like, I don't know. It was cool. And then the little girl ends up saving his life during the episode. Like, cause like she ends up sneaking out to follow him or something and she gets in danger. He has to go save her. And in the process, he realizes that the world needs him to be Spider-Man and that like he inspires people. Like, it's a very heartfelt episode. It had a lot of good stuff. And you know what? I'm kind of like not doing it justice with the crappy thing I'm saying. We have Dark Lycan in here. What's up, Baz?
Hey,
and we have Peter Estrada saying hi from Australia.
Hey, Peter, how are you?
Good day, mate.
Good morrow or good tomorrow. Because it's
Good day.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
good day.
no, they're a day ahead of us. I know, maybe not a you. They're a day ahead of me.
I think possibly by this point, yeah.
They're like what?
Hello from from us. Hello from the past.
Something like 10 hours ahead.
Isn't it like 10? Isn't it like 10 hours in front of us?
Peter, can you confirm? Is it Sunday morning?
Are you in the future? Will I wake up in time?
Yes, it's 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. So hello from the past.
About
11 hours.
So, all right. So I have to ask, what is it like? That was probably one of my favorite arcs, or one of my favorite things was that episode with the little girl with cancer, and then the episode with like the Spider-Verse and like the Secret Wars that they did. What was your probably favorite one, Harris? Or what was your favorite arcs?
I really liked the Man Spider story. Like I think I brought it up on the podcast before. Like there are so many things that I saw in that show that I was like, one day all of these things are going to be done into a movie and it's going to be awesome. And no one's touched those stories. We've redone other stories. I'm like, no, give me my Man Spider. I want to see Tom Holland turn into the Fly like he's Jeff Goldblum. Like that's what I want.
Ooh, and then give it to Cronenberg. Give it. Well, is he alive still? David Cronenberg alive?
I think he's alive. I haven't checked it on Cronenberg in a while.
David Cronenberg. Oh, yes, he is. He's 80 years old still. Give it to Cronenberg. give Cronenberg a Marvel movie and make it Man Spider. Come on, it writes itself. Nah, but or what? Oh, you're welcome back. Okay, yeah, it's good. Fucking keep your shit to your own stream, Peaky. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
On camera.
I know. I'm kidding. But yeah, nah. So at any rate, that was a good one. The symbiote one was also a really good one.
That's the one I was going to bring up. Was like the whole Venom Carnage sort of like arc was just like, because that was my first introduction to Venom and Carnage. So seeing these two symbiotes having at it, and it's like, fuck yeah.
Well, I was also talking about like when he first gets the black suit.
Yeah,
like,
that was also really good.
The voice acting for this, I don't know. I forget who the voice actor is for Spider-Man. Here, let me look that up. But the guy who did that, he overacted way. Like his thing.
Shocker!
Yep, that was exact. I'll hunt you to the ends of the earth. Like, I'm like, what the hell? Here, let me see. Spider-Man voice actor, 90s.
It's pretty incredible. I saw some things like, because I think that guy has come back for other Spider-Man projects. Like he's been like, I think he was Spider-Man 2099 in Shattered something, Spider-Man Shattered Memories or Shattered Dimensions.
The video game.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Look, Gilbert, there's some trash in the chat.
Is that what the T stands for?
Yeah, rated trash.
T for trash. No, but all right, Christopher Daniel Barnes. And it looks like, let me see what other Spider-Man roles he's done, if any. Yeah, he was in. It's like, oh yeah, all these Spider-Man movies, which are just part of the Spider-Man TV show. Yeah, no, it's like, so it looks like he was just in the Spider-Man cartoon, and he was on one in 2003 called the Spider-Man the new animated series. I think that might have been Neil Patrick Harris. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, the point is that it seems like he was in he did a lot of like Disney cartoon roles. He did some like of the Disney movies. Like, let me see. I guess he was in The Little Mermaid as a voice actor. I have no idea where, but
Another C.
Oh shit! No way he was in the Spider-Verse. Says he was in the Across the Spider-Verse, apparently.
He probably was. He probably done the. Wasn't there a Peter from the 90s animated series? Wasn't there a Spider-Man from the animated series in that?
I don't think so. I remember the 60s Spider-Man being in there, but I don't. Yeah, no, it just says he was credited in the movie. It doesn't say what he was credited with, but maybe.
It's got to be for 90s Spider-Man. It's got to be, because there's like. It's basically probably in that scene where they're chasing Miles through the fucking base or whatever they call it, and all those Spider-Mans are shouting, "Get him!"
Yeah, I imagine he probably was in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's got to be for that.
I guess he must. Yeah, no, it would be stupid to put him in that movie and then not cast him as the Spider-Man that he was famous for.
Some of the stuff that I was looking through, like, yeah, he was Spider-Man Noir in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. He was Spider-Man 2099 in Spider-Man Edge of Time. Supposedly, according to IMDb, he had a role in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie. But I don't know. Jason, what are you doing? Why am I looking at my comments and seeing ASCII Cox? What's this about? Stop this nonsense.
Because we're talking about something from our childhood. It's time to be juvenile. But that's another thing, is that this show, come November, this show will be 30 years old. It's like, and that is just ridiculous.
It makes me feel so old.
Time needs to stop. Like, I can't handle this. Time needs to fucking stop, because you know what? Like, I was watching this like to get ready for this episode, to get ready for us talking about it. I was watching this today, like this cartoon, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Watching it, it's like it's still good, but it's very much, you can tell it's a product of its time. It's like it still has the Twin Towers, for God's sake.
I really struggle watching cartoons from my childhood and like 80s cartoons, because I'm like, the animation and everything is so outdated in this. And like,
and there's definitely some weird stuff. Like, you can tell, like, the voice acting is a little bit like, it kind of some of the lines are like chopped together, and like it was a time when voice acting was still not exactly as like
sometimes it's not
refined.
Sometimes it's not like ad-libbed properly, so like their mouths will be moving and they're not talking anymore, and it's like I really struggle to focus on. God, I tried watching the 80s Thundercats. I had to stop. I couldn't focus on it.
Yeah, no.
Like,
the further back you go,
I don't know if you guys are the same when it comes to like the cartoons from our childhood. It's like I struggle to watch them.
There are some are better than others, but there are an awful lot that I'm like, oh yeah, I love this, and it's just painful to try and watch it again now. I mean, like,
yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm thinking more of like live action stuff. Like, I used to be a big fan of a show called Big Wolf on Campus, which was a sort of Teen Wolf-esque thing, and that's a hard watch. It's got a sort of attitude, similar comedy to like Big Bad Beetleborgs, which is another that is hard to try and watch. Same thing with VR Troopers.
Yeah,
but I like his like mutton chop mustache that he got with the.
Beetleborgs and VR Troopers are really hard to watch, but I can go back and watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers easily.
Yeah,
I'd say it's easier. Yeah.
Yeah, Power Rangers is easier. Beetleborgs is a little rough, and then Animorphs. That is a rough one to go back and watch. That is horrible.
And sometimes Gil struggles to watch My Little Pony.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, you should stop trying to show him your pony, shouldn't you?
Well, he's a nice pony.
Is that?
It's like I'm gonna have to take you to HR, Peaky.
I am HR.
I am the one who knocks.
It was like, damn it, I forgot I promoted him to HR.
It's like, I didn't promote you to shit.
No one's in HR. Oh, fuck it. We won't need HR. Send Peaky in there.
Worst mistake you ever made.
So, all right. So let me see here. Oh, you know what we've completely glossed over? Like, we talked about all this other stuff. It gave this Spider-Man cartoon in the 90s gave us one of the best female characters of all time. And of course, I refer to Black Cat. Yeah,
I knew you were going to say Black Cat. I knew you was going to say it.
All the simping for the 90s Black Cat.
It's the whip. It's the whip.
Well, it's also like she's also like I hate this term, but she's a total muscle mommy.
Yeah,
I hate that fucking term with a passion, but
yeah, she got thighs, didn't she? She got those thighs.
They did really keep in that like 90s aesthetic that you got in a lot of comic books of just so much comic book art. Everyone was ludicrously ripped. They looked like Olympian like wrestlers.
Yeah, dude, like straight up, I'm like, yup.
Oh.
All right, okay. YouTube just got rid of Gills. Like, you cannot show that cat's boobs.
I guess it's a British takeover now.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I pressed the wrong button. I actually backed out of the stream.
You're an idiot.
But yeah, as it turns out, you can't show black cat's boobs, otherwise it makes you stupid.
Yeah, apparently seeing an image of black cat makes you leave the stream.
So I don't know, like for I think I want to go back to what you said a little while ago, Peaky, about this being like the first introduction everyone had to Madam Web, which it probably kind of is. I think Madam Web came up in the 90s or in the 80s, or no, the 80s. But yeah, after like this show was like, at least for me, the main thing I knew her from. I don't know about you guys.
Did we ever really see Madam Web after this as well?
Probably in some comic runs, but
Shattered Dimensions.
Yeah, I mean like in animated shows.
Okay, in animated, no, I don't believe so. But she was in she was in Shattered Dimensions. Like she was the main plot, like for why they were doing that. Is that like, oh, the universe is breaking. I need you guys to go do this, that, and the other. And she was the one who assembled them again, much like the '90s cartoon. I was a little disappointed, to be completely honest, that she wasn't in any of the Spider-Verse movies. Like I thought that would have been make the most sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if we see her in like the next movie, but with there being a Madam Web movie on its own, I guess maybe the studio didn't want that.
Yeah, and that's kind of sad. Yeah, I did. Go ahead, Piggy.
While we're on the topic of this Madam Web film, I really don't care for it.
I know a lot of people don't, which is why I'm hesitant to even like review it. Like I don't even know if we should.
I mean, I'm not gonna waste money to go and see it.
Fair.
I might go see it. Like I'm vaguely interested, but it does look like all of the Sony Spider-Man movies they've made since they stopped making Spider-Man movies. Yeah. Where like it just looks weird and old. It looks like they should have been made in 2004.
It looks like it belongs in like the 2000s, in like early 2000s-esque. Like that's what it's just. If they were to bring that out then, it would have done really well, I think. But for them to bring it out now,
it gives me Elektra vibes.
Elektra.
Oh.
Yeah, like that weird period of comic movies where they took less popular characters and tried to make movies for them and it didn't work, like Elektra and the Catwoman movie. Catwoman's fairly popular, but they messed up with that movie.
Not that Catwoman. That Catwoman is not popular.
Yeah, no, I just
the Halle Berry
as a character, Catwoman is popular, but you can see why they'd make a Catwoman standalone movie. But
they changed so much of it. They changed so much stuff for that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
giving her superpowers.
It's sad. Going back to the Sonyverse thing, it's kind of sad that for Sony, because of the deals they made with Marvel and with Disney and all that shit, and because of like all this legal mumbo jumbo, they can't just make a Spider-Man movie by itself and like call it a day and make it whatever. Right. They have to do all this bullshit of like, oh, we're gonna make a Morbius movie, then a Kraven movie, then we're gonna have Madam Web, but we're gonna have everyone literally but Spider-Man.
Well, this is the thing, right? There's a real easy solution that Sony can really do here. They can keep the rights to Spider-Man like they have been, and loaning the character Spider-Man and some other characters from Spider-Man to Marvel. And they could do that with the entire Spider-Man universe, is loan them out to Marvel. Marvel pay Sony the money, but also Sony would still get merchandising rights. They'd still get residual checks. They would still be able to obviously make the games, which are big. Like, I think the games now, like the newer ones, they're making Sony probably more money than what the Spider-Man films were. Like, let's be honest.
I mean, possibly, yeah. I mean, they've been really successful. Sony has been able to do some Spider-Man media that's super successful, like having those games as being like PlayStation exclusives, and they're good.
Yeah,
it seems like it's every now and then someone's like, "You've got to make it good, Sony," but they can't figure that out with movies like Mobius and, in my opinion, the Venom movies. They just can't figure out like, if it's decent, people will watch it.
I do enjoy the Venom movies because I like the only Venom we've really seen in live action was from Spider-Man 3, and that wasn't great.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, the less said about Topher Grace, the better.
Yeah. So seeing this different type of Venom is really good, and I think Tom Hardy plays a brilliant role of playing Eddie and Venom. He does the work of two people.
No, it's. I would definitely say I think that's Tom Hardy's worst performance. Eddie Brock.
For playing two roles, I think he does it really well.
I don't know, man. Like for a start, there's nothing particularly special about his Venom. You're a turd in the wind. And then his Eddie Brock is so unlikable. Like, which would make sense if it was Eddie Brock in a Spider-Man movie, but he's your lead.
Yeah.
And that first movie, they set him up like he's a romantic lead, like it's sort of a rom-com. And he's terrible. Like, he's there being like, "Oh yeah, okay, so I'm Eddie Brock, right? Geez, yeah, and I got my motorbike and I go on the news. I'm the motorbike riding journalist." Like, what the fuck are you doing, Eddie? Not Eddie, sorry, Tom. It reminds me of like Bane, where like I don't know why he made some of the decisions he did, and I don't know who told him it was a good idea.
Nolan. No, but yeah, no, I agree. I was going to say Bane is probably his worst performance, but that's an interesting thought that Eddie Brock.
I think his best performance was in Legend, where he played the Cray twins.
Yeah, let's talk about the worst. With Bane, I think there is some stuff I think he does fairly well. He makes Bane scary. Like, just like his body language and like how he's shot and things like that. Bane still looks formidable. And the voice you can kind of get over, I think. It's weird, but I feel like you can kind of get over it.
Do you know what the best way to mimic Tom Hardy's Bane voice? And Gilbert knows exactly where I'm going with this because I've done it multiple times.
Fucking Pringles can.
I don't have a Pringles can, but you get an empty Pringles can and you just talk into it.
You and your fucking Pringles can. Fuck Tom Hardy. Fuck Bane. Fuck all that shit.
I'm
going to get a Pringles can for next week now.
All right, you're on your own with that. But yeah, I just think those movies do not work for me. I think they're a bit silly. But anyway, yeah, the way that Sony doesn't seem to get like how to do good Spider-Man stuff in live action is strange to me.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Action, how you doing?
What's going on, Mr. Action?
I feel like the best way for Sony to make any money regarding to Spider-Man movies is to give all the characters to Marvel. Because I'm not going to lie, what Marvel have done with the Spider-Man films, they've been really good. They've brought, like, we've had Vulture in live action. We've had Mysterio. We've teased Scorpion. Like, we're starting to see villains we haven't yet seen in live action. And I think that's what Marvel does well with their live action films, is they bring characters into the live action fold that we've never really seen before.
Yeah, definitely. And I wish that Sony would, at the very least, if they didn't do something like that, because I agree, it'd be nice if we could just have a bigger universe with all his rogues gallery in the MCU. But their whole thing of making standalone movies for other characters, I don't mind it that much. Like, what I hate is that, in principle, I don't mind it. I hate that they try and make them like the heroes of their stories.
Yeah.
And it's like, do like DC have kind of done with the Suicide Squad and with like Birds of Prey. We know they're out there, we just don't see them. Like, it's have like a weird movie that's, I don't know, like the Sinister Six have to do something, and Spider-Man's not involved. He's not on Earth at the point, or something like that. Or you just oh yeah, fucking Spider-Man. Or just with one of them. I would love like a weird gangster movie like starring Rhino.
Ooh, that'd be cool. See, like I don't understand why they don't do like Elseworld stuff. Like, and I know that's a DC concept, but I don't understand why they don't do like, if they can't do, Peter Parker, fine. Then give me a Miguel O'Hara movie. Give me a Spider-Man Noir, or give me like
Yeah.
I don't know, like give me one of the Spider-Man give me that Japanese chick in the Gundam Spider-Man.
Yeah, those would be cool to see.
Fuck it, give me Spider-Gwen in live action,
dude. Straight up. And what's her name? There was someone who like did a perfect fan cast. Was her? It's not.
Like
I don't know. It'll come to me.
What I don't get about the Sony verse is that like they change the origin stories for their standalone films, like this Madam Web one, and like the Kraven the Hunter film that's coming out. That Kraven becomes the world's greatest hunter because he has lion's blood ends up going and mixing with his during a hunting accident.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid. Like it seems like they're trying to make all of like the Sonyverse villains like have some, like, you know, Morbius, he was bitten by a radioactive bat. Oh well, you know, Kraven, he has the you know, an African lion's like blood in him. He has the spirit of the lion or some shit. You know, they're trying to give them all powers to make them like, you know, I guess kind of on par with, as opposed to just Kraven just being a really good hunter.
But the thing is with the Spider-Man villains is that a lot of them work the way they do because they don't have powers.
Yeah, no, exactly. You're absolutely right on that one. Like, I think, like, yeah, what makes Green Goblin scary is that he's just a dude flying around like in a creepy ass costume throwing bombs at you. Like he's not some like, you know, oh, he's actually like, but I think that's one thing that kind of messes up with later versions of Spider-Man, like in the Ultimate version, like they actually have like a demon Green Goblin.
Yeah,
I do kind of like that.
Well, you know, I figured you. Yeah, let's see. Mr. X says, I would love to see a show or love to see a movies in the point of view of Spider-Man villain. Well, I mean, we already have that, but they're not very good.
Yeah, I think, like I say, like if it was actually they were actual villains, it'd be fun. Like even if, like, I don't know, like if it was like a story of, you know, some minor Spider-Man villain has to try and do something, but Spider-Man doesn't realize like he's trying to be a good guy this time, and so Spider-Man shows up every now and then and stops him or gets in the way. But he's like, no, for real, I'm trying to, I don't know, like save a kid that's been kidnapped, you know, and it's like my niece or something. So, you know, it looked like he's got a good intention. I feel like someone like the Rhino might be fun for that. The thing with the Rhino, I like the idea of like a noir story, like a detective story, but he's too dumb to figure it out. It's just like watching this giant bulking man, like almost like The Big Lebowski, but with a man in a rhino.
If we were to get a live-action Spider-Man noir, who would play noir Spider-Man?
Nicolas Cage. Right out the bat, live-action Nicolas Cage, Peter B. Parker. Let's do it.
It'd be kind of fun. Do you know what? I recently rewatched some Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You know that episode, The Janitor Always Knocks Twice?
Yes.
I would absolutely watch it with Charlie Day as like a really short spider noir. Like, what are you doing there? That's so I hear you've been running cherries.
When I first watched that episode, I didn't like it, but it's become one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love that episode so much.
That and the Murder Marine Ponderosa, where
the documentary about her death.
Into a cat, goddammit.
Yeah, making Dennis Reynolds a murderer.
No, all right. So no, like evil main characters like Clockwork Orange. Okay, so you want to have it be about the like. Okay, about Vulture or about Electro, about Shocker or something like that. That'd be, see, what I think would be cool is have a movie that centers on, like, you know, Doc Ock, or about Vulture, Mysterio, whoever, and then Spider-Man just show, like, when they're committing their crime, Spider-Man shows up and he's not like, you don't actually follow Spider-Man around. He only shows up when, you know, when he's going to thwart the crimes, like kind of make it directly from their point of view. You know what I mean? Like you don't actually ever see Peter Parker or Spider-Man's story.
A film or a series from the villain's point of view would be brilliant. I'd watch it.
Yeah, and like don't give them Spider-Man's point of view. Don't give them Spider-Man's motivation. You know what Spider-Man's motivations are, but just make it from their point of view. Like they don't understand why Spider-Man does what he does. They're just like think he's just a dick. Which he kind of is. Like Spider-Man, when you realize that like he's just taunting them all day long, just beating the shit out, he is kind of a dick.
I love Spider-Man. Like for some reasons, what Spider-Man does ends up with like one of their buddies dead or something.
We're intoxicated on love and friendship. That's what we're
I'm high on life. And THC.
I'm high on Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Spider-Man would be the yeah, okay, so that's what he was trying to say, but Spider-Man would be the antagonist.
I would watch a show or a film like that because it's something different. I feel like I said, I feel like that's what Sony really needs to do. Is they need to take a long, hard look at themselves in the mirror and say, what are we doing wrong with this Sonyverse that we're trying to do? Or listen to the fans. We know what we want from them in regards to the Sonyverse. If they would take a step back and listen to us.
I mean, so kind of to bring it back around to what we were originally talking about. I think I know exactly what I want out of the Sonyverse, and it's exactly what we got in the 90s. It's I want everyone to mix with. I want the Fantastic Four, the fucking Ghost Rider. I want like Blade. I want all these motherfuckers to hang out with Spider-Man, because that was the thing from the comics too. He was always hanging out with either the Fantastic Four, or he was hanging out with the X-Men, or he was hanging out with someone.
Look at when he became the bombastic bagman for the Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Stuff like that. That's what I want out of the Sonyverse, is them to actually realize that it's like, yeah, you guys are Sony and you want to be gritty and dark and a little more like new, like edgy than fucking Marvel, and I'm like, just do what we. Come on, man. Look at the success of your game and do that. Do something like bright and colorful and awesome.
Well, the thing is, like, if Sony buckle themselves and kind of get with the program and give Marvel more Spider-Man rights, that Marvel can do that. Marvel can do a Fantastic Four and Spider-Man team up movie. I'd watch it.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, if they just want to give us
do it, especially now that obviously, like in the MCU, like Peter Parker doesn't really know what to do anymore, because obviously he's lost his aunt, he's lost he's basically lost his friends, he's on his own now, he doesn't really know his place. Best thing to do, hook him up with a Fantastic Four for a bit.
Yeah, like maybe like while he's rebuilding his life, he like gets like an internship or a mailroom job at the Baxter Building, and like slowly Reed Richards notices like, hey, there's this genius scientist kid like here in the building. And then also Spider-Man keeps turning up.
But every so often, this kid keeps disappearing, and next thing I know, I see Spider-Man swinging past the building, like, because Reed will put it. I think Reed obviously knows, like in the comics, like Reed knows who Spider-Man is because he's the fucking world's smartest man, for God's sake.
Yeah, I like the idea that he puts it together real fast. He's like, "Come on, Peter, I know what you're doing."
Yeah,
like, MCU seems dead. We're not talking about the MCU though. We're talking about just Spider-Man.
We're talking about Spider-Man. We're trying to like think of we're going back to the animated show and thinking what I'd love to see
this. We need an armored spider. We need like Tony Stark, but if he was Peter Parker.
Isn't that Mark II armored Spider-Man armor?
I think so. I'm not sure which one exactly it is. All I know is that this was probably like one of the coolest Spider-Men that ever existed.
I really want that Spider-Man.
Yeah, we need to bring that into live action. I would throw all the money if you give me this. If Sony were to give me this, I would just like.
Oh no, so that's Mark I.
Yeah. Okay. So this is Mark I. I think Mark II was when it became red and yellow, and I also got the legs.
Mark II. Yeah. So Mark. Oh, that's Mark III. That's not what I want. I want the one before that. So Mark II is black and yellow. So like what we got at the end of the Spider-Man PS4 game, kind of like that black and yellow kind of suit. That was basically Mark II. And then Mark
Mr. Action,
III is the one where it's like all like kind of armored plating. It's red, black, and blue.
All right, so here, real quick, I do want to talk about this. He said, Mr. Action, go ahead, Harrison. You said it. You were going to say something.
This one where they can't even give one punch. I think it probably was. I can't remember too close for myself, but I always thought he did throw punches a lot and do stuff, but he might not have.
No, so the thing is with Spider-Man is that because obviously of his powers, if he was to punch someone, he would kill them.
Yeah, so like, well, I mean, he pulls his punches, like he hits them lighter than he
I
like,
mean,
can.
we've seen him punch an awful lot of people in a lot of media.
He does pull his punches, and also a lot of the time he'll redirect their attacks back at themselves. So like he'll swipe, kind of like dodge, and as he like dodges, he'll make their fist hit themselves, type thing. Like that's a lot of these attacks are like that because of the fact that if he does punch someone, he could potentially kill them.
So, all right. So you are right about that it did have a lot of, yet they put Carnage in the show when they can't even punch. Yeah, but they did have a lot of censorship. Like, people did punch in that show, or like a lot of what he did is he would land on someone and they would just kind of like fall back.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like swinging, like 2-footed kicks where he like kind of comes in and pushes them over.
Yeah, and then they also they didn't actually have guns. Like, everyone had laser guns. Like, even the police all had laser guns.
Yeah. Everyone had lasers. Yeah.
Let me see. Like, Morbius, he couldn't actually drink someone's blood. He had to, like, he sucked it through like holes in his hands because they couldn't actually show someone like getting, sucked the blood out of. So yes, there was some weird censorship stuff that didn't actually like, work.
It's like Samurai Jack, it's like how everything that Samurai Jack cut up with his sword was a robot.
Exactly. It's like they had to do it like it was like a stylized choice, so that way they could actually make it for kids and not have to worry about like, oh shit, the censors are gonna be on our ass.
Yeah. So Gilbert, I'm sending you the pictures for like the armored Spider-Man armor.
Okay, here, let me pull it up. So yeah, we got this dude here. Let me zoom in a little more. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
So that's Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just sent you Mark III.
Oh, dude, I have that one. Not that one, not the armor, but I have that toy.
And then that's Mark IV.
Nice. It's like that's the fucking, looks like the one from the movies. But yeah, so, and then I saw when there was one that was made by like, I'm not sure if it was during Civil War, but he got one that was red and yellow that was made by Iron Man, and that's the one that had the legs.
Spider-Man. No, that's the MCU one.
No. I guarantee you there is a comic book one that had those legs as well.
Yeah,
that's why everyone loved it so much.
I'm trying to find it now.
Okay, yeah, but
hold your horses.
Make me. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no. So, like, I think also, yeah, you weren't no pun. Okay, yeah, here it is. I found on a thing on Screen Rant, says Spider-Man was unable to punch. The hero was forbidden from throwing any punches, meaning that most fights in the show were either wrestling matches or involved Spider-Man throwing people or webbing them up. So yeah, like, it's unfortunate, but it was the 90s. We may have had some rockin' fucking like opening music. Which speaking of, I'm gonna just. No, shut that. Yeah, that's it. Damn it. I don't want to get in trouble because it's like, but like there's a moment that's like,
yeah, it's like the best part of that whole thing.
So yeah, I have it very quiet so I can. There. Now I'm gonna do that, and now I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, but I don't care. Yeah. So we had some really good stuff, but we also had some really shitty crap.
Sent you the
Batman series throws. Of course, you're gonna bring up the Batman series.
Sent you the suit, Gilb.
Alrighty, let's see what we got. Oh, yep, there it is.
It's the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah, okay, that was the one. Yeah, it wasn't Armored Spider, it was the Iron Spider. But either way,
it was the Iron Spider suit.
That's one of the cooler ones, I think. But also, to go back to it, that one will forever be. I want to get that as a cosplay. I gotta get someone to 3D print me a fucking armor.
Shit, that would be a sick. I nearly fell back on my chair then. That would be a sick cosplay.
When I get that, you'll all be the first to know. And Mr. Action, you're absolutely right. W theme.
That and the 90s X-Men.
Now I need to know how they did Carnage in the '90s show. I think they did Carnage pretty well. Like the symbiotes actually were pretty cool. Spider Carnage was pretty fucking cool.
Like he's not going to be as like badass and like kind of evil and crazy as he is in the comics. You know, like I don't think they really go into the blood thing in the animated show, but he's still a villain. Like it's again for the time and for the age that it was aimed at, it was an amazing way to get kids that young like into Spider-Man to get them caught up on what Spider-Man was. Because you come away from that knowing who all of Spider-Man's like enemies are. Similar in a way to the Batman animated series. Like how the Batman animated series just shows you Batman's rogues gallery. If you watch that, you have a great understanding of like the baseline story for Batman.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't do like the Killing Joke or anything, but you still know like who Barbara Gordon is and that she's Batgirl, and you still know like who Dick Grayson is, and it works out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so and that's exactly what this show does. Is it shows you, it doesn't just show you like everything that there is to know about Spider-Man, it shows you like every single other character that Spider-Man ever met.
Yeah.
And it is like, all right, so this is why this is important, or this is why, like Spider-Man is important, because he crosses paths with every hero that you'll ever care about.
And like I probably wouldn't have known who Punisher or Daredevil were if it wasn't for this cartoon.
No, same. Yeah, I even like Ghost Rider.
I think Doctor Strange would have been mine. I would have no idea if it wasn't for this. There's like one random episode where he meets Doctor Strange and helps him fight Dormammu.
Wasn't Iceman in it as well?
I think the entirety. He goes to the X Mansion at one point during the during the Spider, the Man Spider episodes. Like he goes to them, he's like, help me cure myself. I need to not be a mutant. And they're like, no, being a mutant is good. We like being no, fuck you. I don't want to be a mutant. And he runs away.
That's incredibly offensive to us, Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then I think Beast goes after him, and then he gets captured, and then they have to have Wolverine come save Beast, and then Wolverine and Spider-Man team up.
Which show do you think? Do you think the X-Men show or the Spider-Man show looked better?
I would say the Spider-Man show, but they're kind of on the same level, more or less.
Yeah.
There are some differences in like how it's produced, like, but yeah, they are kind of similar. I think maybe Spider-Man just because like how much of it is at night. Like something that I really love about that show is that loads of it is set at night, so you get a really nice color palette.
Yeah, you have like the dark blue, black, and yellow of New York, and then you have like Spider-Man swinging through the city in his suit, and or like him battling Goblin at night, and like the contrast of the colors blends in really well together. I will agree with that.
The weird UV black light stuff that they do for the spider sense. It's always kind of cool.
Yeah, no. And so as I brought it up before, I think that's the only one that maybe not. I think that cartoons all do that, but that was like something that I think inspired Sam Raimi later on when he made his one, because his movie is the only one that has like that noise that whenever he has a spider sense thing. Like it actively makes reference to, like it makes the like it makes that noise whenever he has spider sense. And so I think that was him, or at least I think that's somewhat influenced by the cartoon.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
At least that's my thought, because I don't know, I haven't watched a whole lot of the other Spider-Man cartoons, but I don't think they often do that. Like they don't do it, at least not nearly as like pronounced or as like outspoken as the way the '90s did.
I watched one where it had Flash Thompson come in it as like Venom soldier, like he was Soldier Venom. And like, I watched that one where they're fighting they're using anti-carnage to, and all of that. I watched that one, and the spider sense was a bit kind of the same. Like it had like the lines coming out from Peter and everything, but like I said, it doesn't hit like it did back then with the '90s spider sense. Like that was different, and I think nothing has really done the same since.
I would absolutely agree.
Even with like the MCU, like Tom Holland's Spider-Man hasn't. The only time they've really like shown the spider sense happening is in Avengers: Infinity War, where he's on the school bus and his hairs stick up when the Black Order ship is above New York.
They do it a bunch in No Way Home, I think, because they talk a lot about the Peter tingle. Like, have you got the Peter Tingle and it sort of comes into?
I think the first time we did see it was in Infinity War.
It might be. I think they might have had it in.
Yeah, see, like that's what I mean. Is that like it's very subtle in all the live action stuff, but like in the '90s cartoon and the Sam Raimi movies, it was very pronounced when his spider sense went off.
Yeah, so makes sense to know it was No Way Home, but it was hard to see. Yeah, but I'm seeing like No Way Home was obviously after Infinity War. The only time I feel like we really saw the spider sense happen in the MCU was in that scene where he's on the bus and the Black Order ship is above New York in Infinity War, and you see like the hairs on his arm like stick up, and then like he looks out the window. Like I think that's the only time we've really noticed it.
Yeah, I'd have to go back through them.
Also, Mr. Action, I want to talk about this for a minute. I feel so sorry for you that your first Spider-Man cartoon was the Ultimate Spider-Man. That's the Drake. That is the Drake Bell one where he broke the fourth wall.
I need to see it.
Is it worse than Spider-Man the new animated series, the 3D one they did in 2003?
The one with NPH? Yes. I'm gonna say yes. That one was jarring because it had interesting in animation, I guess, but it's I don't know if they were had it quite perfected yet.
Oh, okay. So I did watch Ultimate Spider-Man because that's the one with White Tiger, Iron Fist, Nova, and Luke Cage in. Yes. I did watch that one because isn't that one where Shield teams them up together?
Mm-hmm. That's one where Coulson and that's the guy who plays Coulson in the movies is their principal, and he's he's having to watch over all these kids because they're junior Shield agents, basically. I
did watch that one.
Shield.
I did watch that one.
It's not great. I'm sorry.
No,
it's not.
It's really not.
It does a lot of Spider-Verse stuff. It has its own little. It has Spider-Ham in there, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
But I'm no, it's not great.
Okay.
But at any rate, whatever. That's just okay, boomer. Disney XD wants us to suffer.
I will agree with what Mr. Action has just said there as well. It introduced me to White Tiger and Luke Cage.
Yeah, and Power Man, which is also what Luke Cage was originally called.
It introduced me to Nova as well because I didn't really know much about Nova until I watched that.
Yeah, I suppose I don't really. I didn't watch much of it. My little brother did, but I didn't know much about Nova beforehand. I guess it was. I was more I guess it really introduced me to Nova and Iron Fist. Let me see here. So I guess I have to ask this part of the conversation: is that does this cartoon, the '90s one, does it still hold up to other Spider-Man iterations or to just any other stuff from today? Can you still put it on and enjoy it and not just for the nostalgia?
This is one of those 90s shows that I can still go back and watch. Like the X-Men 90s show, I can still go back and watch that. It falls on the radar of me being able to still continuously even if I don't watch a full episode of it and I see a clip of it on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, I can sit there and watch the entire clip.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Harrison?
I can. I don't know if it would be fair for me to say it holds up. I think I don't know if someone who hadn't watched it would be able to go back and still appreciate it.
Do you think it's more of nostalgia that you can sit there and watch it?
Possibly. I think if there are things that if you're interested in some other stuff, like watching some the early 3D things, I remember going back and watching it and being it's weird, the stuff that they did do with the animation that was quite good, but there's some clear limitations they have. So I think if you're a bit of an animation buff, you could enjoy it like that. And if you like Spider-Man, you might just enjoy going oh, hey, cool, they're doing this story. But like most kids things, when I go back and watch it, I'm wow, that whole arc is way shorter than I thought it was.
Yeah, most of the arcs back then were 3 or 4 episodes.
Sometimes even less than that. Yeah, it's oh, cool, that's there and done. Right, bye. But to be fair, it's quite good when loads of characters come back. I think they have an episode where the Spot shows up in an episode, and then he's gone, but his whole portal technology comes back to be important later on. So it's got some continuity stuff that was better than most shows that came out at that time and might help you enjoy it.
Yeah, but the problem is it is very dated animation. It is like some of those stuff doesn't really like I would say some of the arcs aren't as good as you thought they were originally just because you were a kid. Like maybe that's just me. Like, I talk about it like, but I feel like they probably rush a lot of like the Morbius stuff, like the Craven stuff. Like they rush a few of those arcs and it feels like you're just a kid, so you don't even notice.
Also, like you think about like what there was like episode a week show.
Yeah,
it was one of those. So yeah, the arcs did feel longer when you was a kid back then because you had to wait a whole week to find out what happened next.
Yeah.
Whereas now we can literally 5 seconds after we finish that episode, we can watch the next one. So like, it's available to us immediately. So a lot of the time, it does feel shorter to us because we have that on demand now. Whereas, back then we didn't. We had to wait a week.
And like with streaming it, so there's no commercials, and it's just like 20 minutes, and 20 minutes is nothing now that I'm an adult.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, give me an hour, give me nothing. But yeah, now that's a good point. And then I guess it also comes down to they had one of the worst endings for that show. And you've talked about this before, Harrison, that it had like the whole thing of like, good job, Spider-Man. You beat the secret war. You beat you saved the universe from Spider Carnage. Now we're going to go find the real Mary Jane. And then the show just stopped.
Yeah.
It's like,
because isn't that the one where Mary Jane turned into a fucking steam cloud?
Yeah, she was like a water clone.
You mean this one? That's the greatest, one of the greatest like clips that they've ever made of that show.
Do you know what I want to see them bring from the comics? The whole radioactive sperm thing.
I mean, they did have something like that from like when he had his daughter. Yeah, no, like there was a thing like that where he gave MJ cancer, and then like I guess but they also had a daughter, and that was Spider Woman or Spider Girl. But like both him and MJ had like health problems in the future because of his radioactive sperm. It's like, what the fuck? What kind of shitty way to go is that?
Radioactive sperm.
I feel like someone would have noticed, like at some point, in his career, hanging out with other heroes, like Tony Stark would have been near him with a Geiger counter and go like, "Hey, are you aware of what's coming out of your balls, man?"
Do you understand? Do you understand what this Geiger counter is reading? Just standing next to you.
Like every time he turns up to the Avengers, everyone's wearing lead aprons. And he's like, "What's this about, guys?"
I mean, honestly, I'd be a little worried because wouldn't all if his sperm is radioactive, wouldn't all of his like bodily fluids be radioactive? Like if you got sprayed with his web, wouldn't you be worried about getting cancer?
It's not. Its webs are. It's chemically made, not biologically made.
Okay. It's made inside his body, so I don't trust it.
He makes his web fluid. We're not talking about the stupid Tobey Maguire.
Hey. There's there's other ones where he doesn't have web shooters, so I don't
know. There are others, which in some ways kind of makes not necessarily more sense, but it's more convenient than to have to be like, oh yeah, and how did this guy like discover how to make this fluid that no one else had invented that just happened to be thematically like linked to his powers?
He's a chemical engineer. Of course he would figure out how to make it. He's a really smart kid.
Actually, that's one of the things that I'm. I was going to say that the show, this cartoon, doesn't lay into him being a genius as much. To be fair, it still does. Like he has gadgets that he's invented. He has like spider trackers and stuff. But like he never really has like a lab. He's like just kind of working in his aunt's spare room, just like in his bedroom, being like, "I built this spider tracker to throw onto Fisk."
Yeah, that's a good point. So they do kind of show him as being like a genius, more or less, but it's like it was a little more. I don't know. It was very cartoony in that, like, I just made a tracker. It's like, dude,
it was also
make a GPS tracker in the 90s. How do you just make a tracker?
We saw more of Daily Bugle photographer Peter Parker than genius Peter Parker.
Yeah, we definitely do in this. Like,
that's what I quite like about that series as well. Is like we actually see like him being a photographer for the Daily Bugle, whereas other times we've never really seen that much.
Yeah. Speaking of that, also the Daily Bugle, we completely glossed over one of the greatest parts of that show, and that was Ed Asner as fucking J. Jonah Jameson. Like that was before we had J.K. Simmons. That guy was like the voice of J. Jonah Jameson. Like that's who I always remember. Like that dude plays Ed Wunsler, the third, I think, or the first. He plays the grandpa. He plays the old man, like the one who owns the town in Boondocks. And so, but whenever I hear Ed Asner's voice, I can't not hear J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, it's a great role, and like JJ works in that whole show for me very well.
Yeah,
like, they I don't know, like I say, the show is so great for just setting me up for like, I know Spider-Man now. I've seen this and I know Spider-Man, and I was able to go off and enjoy everything else that was Spider-Man, and be able to go like, oh, I know who this is. I know where that guy came from. Like he's from a different universe. He's a clone.
I like how this cartoon makes it to where J. Jonah Jameson makes the fucking the Scorpion. Like he funds the Scorpion.
Yeah.
Like it's just like the most wacky, like off the. I don't know if that's from the comic books. I feel like it probably is, but that's like the most wacky. Like just let's do that. And then the video game did the same thing. Like they have a part where like there's a line where you're listening to like J. Jonah Jameson's podcast, and he says like, well, now, citizens of New York, I know I have a bad past. I know I made I funded the Scorpion. I know I did. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I can't believe I can't believe they're playing off of that. Because that was always just like the weirdest thing. It's just like, oh yeah, no, let's make him like a bad, like, I think that's why a lot of people call him, like, that say that Jonah or that Jameson is a bad guy. And I don't think he is, but yeah, I know a lot of people argue that he is like absolutely a bad guy in the Spider-Man universe.
Yeah, he definitely comes across it as this. Like they do some stuff to explain how he can be a decent guy. Like there are moments where JJ like realizes he's done wrong and he realizes like he needs to be nice to the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
but, like, he is a douchebag. Also, I don't think we've mentioned enough how buff every single person is in this show. Like this is the widest Spider-Man there has ever been. And the widest Peter Parker, like, and we talk about him doing loads of stuff. The Bugle. It means you see him all the time being the most ripped man in the room in just his little polo neck shirt, and everyone's like, Peter Parker, you nerd. Like he could snap any of you.
Yeah, no, you're like that is a pretty big looking dude if you look at it, like compared to like the other people around him. And yeah, nah, dude, I don't. You're right. It like all the 90s cartoons. Also, I like how they actually sell this fucking stupid polo.
Oh my God.
I want that. I want it.
Like, I guess it's like a thing that Disney started doing, is that for the 30th anniversary of the thing, they started selling this goddamn polo to people. So, but
they could have sold it without the Spider-Man logo on it because it ruins it for cosplayers.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But I mean, if it really bothers you that much, you could just get a polo. And that I'm sure they make polos just like this that don't have the Spider-Man one. But either way,
make sure you got those jeans on and you tuck it into your belt.
Yeah,
that was another thing. Yeah, they did that weird thing where everyone had their shirt tucked into their pants, even though they were wearing like super tight, like painted on fucking jeans. It didn't make any sense. Like, say that again.
I think it's easier to animate. I think. Oh
yeah, no, that's probably a good call. It's just a weird stylistic choice. I'm like, what the fuck?
Nowadays they would be able to animate it quite easily with obviously a shirt hanging out. But obviously back then, yeah, it was probably a lot easier to animate.
Isn't that?
But yeah, but now
that's not the Mysterio. That's the Chameleon. I think on that episode, I just know he had the Chameleon's belt on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hang on, I'm gonna get rid of this. But yeah, no, you're right. There was that episode where what's his name? Where Chameleon took over like Peter Parker's life for whatever reason.
Yeah, just shenanigans. Hey, Sweatlord.
Hey, Sweaty.
Hey, what's up, Sweaty? So yeah, man, like it was a good cartoon. It had a lot of weird stuff. It had a lot of fun stuff in it too. It probably, like I said it before, it probably informed a lot of people's like knowledge of Spider-Man like early on. And informed what other cartoons would do later. Like, I feel like no one's been able to quite get as iconic as this cartoon, because for me anyway, whenever I think about Spider-Man animated, like that's where my mind instantly goes. Like, yeah, there was the Spectacular Spider-Man in the early 2000s or in the 2010s ish. Then there was the Ultimate Spider-Man in the 2015, 2016 ish. I want to say I forget exactly when it came out. But yeah, no, but the 90s will always be the most iconic animated Spider-Man, at least in my mind.
I think it's like I think what helps it become so memorable and so like like out of all of the Spider-Man series, like the one that you would pick out the most, it would be the 90s Spider-Man. It's probably because of the theme song.
The theme song.
I still think I still think when you say to someone like Spider-Man animated TV show, they'd immediately think of the 90s one because the theme song is actually quite memorable.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'd argue that more people know, like, who don't watch Spider-Man or don't watch him much, probably know the '60s Spider-Man theme tune more than anything else.
Yeah,
because like everyone can repeat that Spider-Man. Like, I've never seen an episode of it. Actually, that's a lie. I have, like, way back. But I still know that theme tune thanks to everyone and the Ramones.
Was it the Ramones that made that?
Yeah,
they covered it at least. I think like they did a cover of that, but they didn't.
I was gonna say, I was like,
write
are they that old? No way.
No,
are they that old? But yeah, no. So you're probably right that the Spider-Man like is probably the most iconic one as far as like theme songs, because everyone knows that one, even if you haven't seen it. That just made me think, have either of you seen Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends?
I saw. So is it Spidey and His Amazing, like the CGI?
Oh no! That's another one that came out. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends is with Firestar and Iceman. It's like it's like a random cartoon where he's like rooming with Firestar and Iceman, like two mutants, and he's just like, a trio team. I don't check it out if you ever have the chance. It's an interesting show.
I know of it because that's one of the main reasons the Firestar minifig is in the Daily Bugle Lego set.
Yep. That is a fact.
Spider-Man is
like for whatever reason, I don't know why, but like I don't know if Spider-Man had like a friendship with these two random people, but yeah, and apparently he was just a roommate with both of them.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was interesting stuff, but yeah, so I think we're pretty much wrapping at the end here. I don't know. I'm not sure what more there is to say about the Spider-Man 90s. What do you guys got any final thoughts you wanted to say?
I am very happy that we've started to see a better Wilson Fisk, because I felt like I'd never see a better one since that movie. They've done some good things. Like, one of the few good things about the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie is I think the villains are great. I like Bullseye, and I really love Fisk in that. I've forgotten the man's name, John Coffey. He was fantastic as Fisk. Like, he massive in that movie. I think having a black Fisk was great.
I think I agree. I think the Fisk that we're now starting to have, like from the Daredevil show and now in the MCU, is kind of very similar to the Fisk we had in this 90s animated show.
Yeah. I would agree that Vincent D'Onofrio, he probably has the best feel of like a Fisk from the 90s, but I'm going to absolutely agree with you on that one, Harrison, though, that John Coffey was a stellar choice. For as bad as that Daredevil movie was, like that was probably the best part of it, was that they had John Coffey.
What I think everything that I like about that Daredevil film is the Kingpin and also Bullseye.
I can't with Colin Farrell. Just so goofy.
Oh, I love Colin Farrell.
There's the peanut on the plane. He fucking chokes the granny of a peanut.
Yeah, all right, that's kind of funny. But the part in the very beginning part where we introduce him, where he kills the Irish guy with the paperclip.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I love it. I love that, like, House of Pain is playing in the background when he first shows up. Like, top of the morning to you. I'm like, yeah, fuck him up. You make me miss. No one makes me miss. It's like, yeah. And then, we have to spend more time with Affleck. Yeah, whatever.
Whatever her name is that plays Elektra.
Jennifer Garner.
Yeah,
I was actually okay with that. I was super down. I didn't really care for how much they really liked Evanescence in that movie.
Yeah, It's a freaking. To me, it's typical early 2000s film that Evanescence is everywhere.
Dude, yeah, no, I think that there's like 3 Evanescence songs in that movie.
Yeah, I think
and then there's a Nickelback song.
I think "Bring Me Back to Life" is in that as well. To be honest,
Yeah.
For me, that's their most iconic song.
I think that might be the movie that like Evanescence got really annoyed because they did not want that other dude that's singing on "Bring Me to Life." Like they were like, no, the song's good as it is, and the producers were like, no, it's going to be used in the movie, and we need to have like a rap section for the movie.
We need to have one for the guy, so that way when he's fucking gearing up.
Yeah, so we can. Oh, this time can't believe I couldn't see.
So stupid, so bad.
But I love that, and yeah, Michael Clark Duncan. I finally got his name instead of just calling him John Coffey. Michael Clark Duncan.
That's the character from the Green Mile. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah. That's all I can remember. Is like he's John Coffey. Yeah, no, Michael Clark Duncan. His Fisk is wonderful. Like he's really sinister. Like comes across like how I think Kingpin should be. Like the size of him and like how he's threatening. Then the Daredevil show, Vincent D'Onofrio just crushed it. I was disappointed when I did get to watch some of Echo. I didn't feel like I was getting my full Fisk. I love it when he's brutal. Like that scene in Daredevil when he's in the prison and he's just gorilla pounding that guy. It's the best thing ever.
Honestly, I feel like I can honestly say that we could like that Fisk is going to end up coming back.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to come back. If you like that end credit scene or whatever for Echo, that's like he gets the idea to become the president or whatever, or become
the mayor.
The mayor, or whatever, the mayor of New York. He's definitely going to become like the kingpin of crime again, but it'd be, I'm the mayor. I'm Rudy Giuliani.
What you don't understand is I'm the mayor now.
And then he's going to fight Spider-Man and Daredevil and not the Defenders because I don't care about them. But
I wouldn't mind bringing Luke Cage back.
We getting Jessica Jones in Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be down for that.
Bullseye's confirmed to return, and he's going to be in his signature Bullseye costume from the comics.
Well, it's about goddamn time. See, Gloria says, I quite like some of the newer Spider-Man cartoon stuff, but there is actually so much different Spider-Man stuff at this point, I wouldn't be able to catch up. Just give yourself a weekend. Sit down in front of with your Disney Plus and watch everything that is Spider-Man.
There is an awful lot now. It is a bit too much.
Well, I think it's because, let's be honest, Spider-Man is probably one of the easiest thing they can target to kids from Marvel.
Yeah, well, that other thing that's currently going, which is Spidey and Friends or whatever, and it's basically Marvel branded Paw Patrol. So like it's bad CGI, and like they're just solving problems around the place.
Tons of those toys at work just don't sell.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. But yeah, no, I love how that's probably on the nose with that one. I saw that, it's like trailers for that, but I never got interested in it because I'm like, this is just Spider-Man Paw Patrol.
It's literally him, Miles, and Gwen.
My niece was watching it yesterday, and like Iron Man was in it, and they were in like a special floating ship thing that had a big vacuum on it so they could clean up Sandman's mess. And I'm like, this is not for me. Maybe getting kids into Spider-Man's nice, but I don't know. Just let them
do it the right way.
Let them see him punch somebody.
Don't.
I'm going to see my niece. I'm going to show my niece and nephew the '90s Spider-Man and scare the shit out of them with Venom.
Yeah,
Listen, if you're gonna show kids and introduce them to Spidey, don't make them learn stuff. Don't make them learn about caring the environment.
No. There is only one lesson you need to learn from Spider-Man, and that is with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. If you don't do everything you ever can to try and fix everything, your uncle will die.
Yeah, no, your uncle will be in heaven crying and being like, "No, Peter, I taught you better."
And also,
this.
if you think your girlfriend's going to turn into steam, kind of, do something about it.
Yeah, more than just this. Also, there was this one last thing I wanted to do because I know it doesn't really make sense for this, but fuck it.
You serious?
I didn't have a reason to do that. I just wanted to.
It's weird seeing that clip of him, and after we just watched him in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, no, that's true. He gets in there and he gets ripped apart in like literally 2 seconds.
Yeah, he's barely in that movie.
Great movie though. Oh my god,
Yeah,
great movie.
that's
We're definitely gonna do. All right, so that's something we can all talk.
Me and Gil watched it the other night, and it was like Gilbert was like, "I actually regret not going to see this now." Like, oh.
Yeah, no, it was way better than I ever thought it was gonna be, and I'm like, now I have to go see Frozen Empire in fucking
March
theaters.
22nd. Oh
yeah, and we're definitely doing a fucking Ghostbusters watch at that point. We're gonna do an original Ghostbusters numero uno. There's something strange in the neighborhood. I love how this has gone. This has just changed from Spider-Man to Daredevil to fucking Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but that's the thing with us. We sidebar so much.
That is true. That is very true. That's the charm of this podcast, is it goes all over hell and back, and then somehow comes right back to Spider-Man. But so yeah,
come back.
So I think we're pretty much we've said pretty much everything there is to say. I don't know. It's still a good show. If you haven't watched Spider-Man the '90s cartoon, go watch it. Go give it.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
How many
it's worth a watch.
Is it?
5.
Yeah, like it might look like a lot, but it goes by fast.
Like, they're 20-minute episodes. Like you can get through 5 of them in an hour. Like just put an hour a day into watching them in the '90s, and you'll get through them quite quickly.
Oh yeah, you'll be surprised how fast you'll be like, wait, what? Wait, how's this over? I wanted to watch more.
Yeah, literally. You'll get through a season in like a week. Or
maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be like Mr. Action and watch it halfway through and you'll be like, this is mid. But either way, I definitely recommend it. It's worth it. It has a lot of really good stuff. Like it is dated animation, and some of the audio is kind of clipped together really weird. But it's, like I said, worth it. Not a bad show by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, but it's just old. Old is not bad. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so otherwise, I think that's pretty much all we got to say on that one, guys. I don't know if you guys have anything else you wanted to.
No, I think that's about it. Yeah, do that. Watch loads of weird 90s animated shows. Some of them were good. The Men in Black animated series was good. People don't talk about it enough.
Oh, I used to love that.
Go watch the 90s animated Men in Black.
If you're a fan of Ghostbusters, go watch the real Ghostbusters.
Go watch Extreme Ghostbusters.
Extreme Ghostbusters was also good. Go watch Slimer and the Ghostbusters. Just watch everything Ghostbusters.
Maybe not Slimer, but...
Apart from the 2016 all-female cast movie.
This isn't the 90s, but go watch the 2000s Evolution cartoon.
Yes.
When you're out of control, the alienators roll. Say hello to evolution.
All right, guys. I think it's time for us to be heading out. I'm going to say thank you all for Hans, to Mr. Action, to T, Jason, even though you jumped in here and made a dick, Peter, and let's see, Gloria Sweatward. Like, yeah, dicks are funny. They're very funny, especially yours to look at.
Well, no, it's not my fault that you got 4 inches of snow outside, but your dick is only 2 inches.
Watch a few X-Men cartoons on Netflix. Oh, the X-Men Evolution. That's a good one too.
Yeah, X-Men Evolution.
I'm sorry, but like I think we said this thing like the Among Us last week. Is that goth girls in the like 2000s and like the noughties in the noughties animated shows like Rogue in that. Rogue. Oh, please.
Goth Rogue and Scarlet Witch. Pretty sweet. They informed a lot as a child.
Yes.
We can make an entire episode of that. Maybe we will. 90 cartoons of the 90s and 2000s. But either way, we gotta get out of here. 2000s, whatever. But thank you guys for all watching. Make sure if you like this episode, you like, subscribe, comment below, all that good nonsense for YouTube. And make sure you check out our other videos. Check out our audiobooks. Harrison has a bunch of popular ones on here. He also has the Choose Your Own Adventure Brothers. We have some video game streams from me. We have all kinds of stuff. Go check it out. And remember, wait. With great power comes great responsibility, and we are all Fulcrum, everybody. And wait. We will see you guys all next time.